Good afternoon, good evening and good morning, depending on where you're joining me from today. I'm Melanie from Love Light Truth, and this is Finding Happiness Within Lockdown. Welcome to the 2 o'clock lunchtime live. I hope you are well, and thank you very much for joining me. Thank you for taking your time out and honouring yourself on your search for happiness. Do comment below, let me know you're here, say hi, get involved. We like to make this as social as possible. So first things first, just to relax from the day, let go of any stresses from the morning, we just do some deep breathing. Just remember to breathe deeply into our stomachs, really taking in all that air, and on the release just let go of any stresses, any worries that's been coming up for you this morning, any frustrations. Let's just let that all go. So I invite you to shut your eyes and join me in this. Feel it right down in your belly. One more. And as we feel lighter now, we're connecting back to ourselves, connecting back to the body, to our feelings, to our emotions, and to our soul. So if you can do more than that during the day, then I invite you to. Especially when you get, if you do get all tense or get all fired up, overwhelm, anxiety, any of these negative energies, if you get them through your body, just take nice deep breaths and release it all. And then you can connect back to your body and get ready to actually acknowledge and process the feeling. As always, I invite you to do your gratitude list for today. Let me know what's coming up for you. Let me know what you're grateful for today, what's going on in your world that you are thankful for. For me, my 3 items today are: 1, I am very grateful for food. I'm very grateful for the fact that we have food in the cupboards. I'm really, really hungry at the moment. I don't know if, I think Flint's going through another little growth stage, and the more milk he's drawing from me, the hungrier I'm getting. So I'm very, very grateful for food today. I was starving this morning when I got up. I'm very, very grateful for the universe bringing in everything I need into my life. The flow at the moment is just magical. I'm allowing, I'm receiving, and I'm very, very grateful for everything that the universe is throwing at me. Always being aware, always noticing what is around me, what's being given to me, and so I'm grateful and open my arms to receiving from the universe. And the third thing on my list today is I'm grateful for my course. It's probably the first time I mentioned it. It's not a public thing yet, but I have been working on a course that will be going live next year. So that's all exciting, and further news to come on that. So no matter what your day is like, you can always find something to be grateful for, even if it's grateful for 5 minutes away from the screaming kids. Just maybe you're grateful for a cup of tea. I know a lot of my teas go cold, and I'm sure you know the feeling. So today I wanted to talk about my boobs. I wanted to talk about breasts, and in particular breastfeeding. It's okay, you can still watch. I'm not about to flash you all. I'm not going to get the boobs out on this live, but I do want to discuss it. I think it's something that's really important for mums to talk about. I think it's important for society to talk about it. It's a bit of a taboo subject. It's a bit of people just don't talk about it enough. You know, it's something. There's this feeling that boobs should be covered up and hidden away, and yes, you know, for the politeness of others, most of the time that's the case. But I wanted to get your opinions, get your feedback. You know, what's your opinion of breastfeeding, and more importantly, breastfeeding in public? So it's very different, I think, from breastfeeding in your house or a friend's house with people that you know. Obviously it's not possible at the moment with lockdown, but you get the idea. I think as long as, you know, everybody is respectful and understanding and okay with you breastfeeding in their house, then that's okay. You know, it might be that that person doesn't like the idea of it, you know, so what do you do then? Personally, you know, at the end of the day, I still have to feed my son, and so I would just step into another room and do it out of the actual sight of whoever we're with at the time. But then, you know, you should never take that personally. That's nothing on you. That's not, you know, at the end of the day, that's their problem or their issue. You know, it's, and yes, you know, I'd be respectful and, like I say, maybe go into another room, but that's their issues to work around. That's them who has a negative association or certain beliefs around women essentially getting the boobs out, you know. And let's face it, we're not just whipping them out and leaving them there for everybody to see. You know, as I'm sure most of you, you know, we do it as kind of discreetly, that's what I'm looking for, as discreetly as possible. You know, no one can normally see. But I'd love to hear where you have, you know, places that you have ended up breastfeeding. You know, I mean, for goodness sake, I've stood there in the middle of the high street and I had Flint in my arms, and I remember it so clearly. Paul was in a shop. He'd gone in the shop, and I was waiting outside with the buggy and Flint, and at the end of the day, Flint was hungry. It was time for food, and you know, you're in that predicament of, well, what do I do? You know, I have, you know, and I could have made him wait. I could have forced him to be hungry and feel the feeling and pain of hunger and allow him to cry, you know, or I just get on with it. And that's what I did. I held him in my arms and just adjusted my top accordingly so that he could eat. And to be honest, no one could really notice, no one could really tell what I was doing. I just looked like I was holding my baby. But that was definitely one for the memories. yeah, I never thought I'd be doing that. And the reason I bring all of this up is because I was somebody who, I never minded anyone else breastfeeding. Like, I didn't. I've never had a problem with people breastfeeding in public. But before Flint was born, I had this notion, this belief that I wouldn't breastfeed in public. Obviously I fully intended to breastfeed, I just never thought I'd do it out in public. And now I'm at the stage where, you know, just I forget that I've got my boob out, quite frankly. You know, the other day we were sat in a car park, I won't tell you which shop, but it was quite a popular shop, and we were in the car park and I'm breastfeeding Flint discreetly until I moved Flint and sat there with him on my lap. I mean, we weren't moving, this was all, you know, the car was stationary, but while we were doing this, but I moved Flint and we sat there sort of talking to him, and all of a sudden Paul comes along and he's like, "Are you going to put your boob away?" I'd completely forgotten that my boob was even out and it's just hanging out because Flint wasn't covering it anymore. It sat there for the world to see. So I don't know how many customers got that view, but yeah, it just at the end of the day, if you're nervous about breastfeeding in public, it's interesting to dive into why. Why do you feel nervous? You know, at the end of the day, there's insecurities or limiting beliefs around your ability to do it. You know, all these mindsets about, oh, I shouldn't breastfeed because society thinks it's wrong to get your boobs out in public, or insecure that either, I don't know, maybe you think you've not got very nice boobs, or, you know, that you'll be judged for, for essentially getting your boobs out, you know, which some people think is only a certain type of person, and a certain type of profession perhaps get their boobs out, but they are all beliefs and internal mindsets that you've picked up from society, or have been instilled in you. And once you release them, once you understand that actually there's nothing wrong with a mother feeding her child, it's one of the most natural things in the world. Essentially, that is what boobs are there for. Sorry guys, but it's that's what they're there for. That's what they were made for. It's what we were given them for. And so to feel that you can't feed your child in public is a horrible feeling, a feeling of not being able to provide. And so, yeah, if you do feel scared or manipulated, or like you shouldn't or you couldn't breastfeed in public, you know, I invite you to process and look at that and get in touch if you want. We can look at it together, you know, and we can turn that around for you. We can make it a happy event rather than a stressful one. Because at the end of the day, all we want to do as mums is provide for our children and feed our children. You know, our child is hungry and we should be able to do that and allowed to do that in peace, and in a state of just relaxed, you know, just without the stress and anxiety around what it means and what it represents and what other people think of you. Because quite frankly, that's just not right. So yeah, there we go. I was flashing my boob the other day, not on purpose. Forgot I did it, but it was a lovely moment actually for me to realise just how far I've come, that the work I've been doing, the processes, you know, the understanding, you know, when I look back at the old me who before, during pregnancy, was determined I wasn't going to get my boob out, you know, to be able to release all of that, to be able to be free enough and carefree enough that I forgot my boob was out for the world to see, is actually a wonderful and lovely thing. And I was actually really happy about it. I did sort of, you know, think, oh, must, you know, put that away. But I wasn't, it didn't stress me out. It didn't upset me. It didn't freak me out. It wasn't a negative thing, you know. It was empowering. It was, I embraced the fact that I could do that without fear, and that is all we're ever trying to do in life, isn't it? Is to face our fears and overcome them and be able to fulfill our dreams and our destinies and move through all the negative things in life so that we can achieve our happiness and abundant life. So yeah, I'd love to know what's your opinions on breastfeeding. Do you have any limiting beliefs around it? Do you breastfeed? Where do you breastfeed in public? Where was the first place that you breastfed in public? Mine was the woods, so I eased myself in gently. A bit of cover, you know, not many people. There were people around, but yeah, my first time breastfeeding in public were the woods. So let me know, and how did it make you feel? What things were bubbling up for you when you were doing it, you know? Did it stop you doing it ever again? Perhaps you never went on to breastfeed again in public. Do let me know in the comments, or drop it in the group, Love Light Truth Family, and we can discuss the ups and downs of getting our boobs out, ladies. Okay, alright, well, thank you again for joining me. Sorry to those of you who are disappointed you jumped on and thought you were going to get to see my boobs. Maybe another day, who knows, but not today. Alright, so have a lovely afternoon, a wonderful evening, and until next time, take care. Bye.